through trial and error, advancement in studies, research over hundreds of thousands of years, and instilling it and giving it to a fictional character called the Anunnaki, and then banishing you to the level of a Cro-Magnon Neanderthal. That's all he's doing, and and so I want y'all to understand that. He's saying that all these pyramids that we can prove our people are responsible for putting on the planet. He's saying that some spacemen from the what they call the Palladian star system, from the Palladian constellation. Zachariah Stitchin said, what did he say? This dude you talking about is a white supremacist house trying to push anything back like him. It wasn't true. That's right, family. Yeah, it is. It is very disgraceful. It is very disgraceful, family. It's very disgraceful. Yeah, I know all that, and I'm and we know I didn't, he got there's videos up saying that he done did some things, and I'm not gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna bring that part up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already videos up there that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? I can do the same damage to him just by using this garbage that he's spitting about his mouth. He know good and goddamn well what he's spitting too, and he know that the Cro-Magnon Neanderthals where he got it from. We already been on their ass from day one. So why would you pick some shit up and then say we hating on you, nigga? And we already been on your master for saying this garbage. We know where you got it from, nigga. I never even listened to you, but as soon as I say he ain't saying no different than none of these other theosophies. And that same guy that's on Ancient Aliens that gave him that award, who wear his hairstyle like Gerald Gardner, who started modern Wiccan, a witch. He started the modern witch movement. Gerald Gardner, who was a student of Aleister Crowley. I know it's like, you can't run from me, Billy. No, you can't. And I know where you got your name from, Billy. Cause I know who is another occultist that you got your goddamn name from. Yeah, I know who you is. I know who you is. See, I know where you got that Billy from. I know. Yeah, it's another occultist that I'm gonna talk about, because when I was doing, I do quick, and I just, I'm like the Anunnaki. See, I be jumping through academic wormholes and shit. And as soon as I get on your ass, nigga, I be looking and, and zoom. I zoom through a wormhole and I end up with some more information that I wasn't even intending to get. You understand what I'm saying? But I found another theosophist in the likes of you. You know what I'm saying? Or where you got your information from. And I'm going to bring that up. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to keep pounding, because, see, a lot of people want me to go away. See, I'm not the one that's gonna stay on you forever. I don't do people like that. What I do, I might knock on your head for about a week. You understand? But by the time I get out of that week, I'm gonna have a whole goddamn playlist full of nothing but information that's gonna expose your ass. And then after I drop, I'm just like Amin Ra, and they say he started the Pyramid Wars. Well, motherfucker, I'm gonna start them today. And I got some advanced technology called the truth. And I ain't gonna leave nothing but scarred goddamn reputations and careers when I'm done. You see, because we can no longer allow you spacemen to steal our legacy. And I don't even give a goddamn if our own people say it. Don't give a goddamn. We understand metaphors. We understand, parables, and we understand anthropomorphic zoomorphic mythology, but we know that is mythology. We're not fools. You see, when we say that we see people that's us, we know who that is. We're not saying nobody come. We saying that we are one with the cosmos, and all the elements in the cosmos is in us. When the cosmos became flesh, We was the representation of the primordial man. That's who we are. You see, and woman, we are the primordials. And so when life came upon, and there was never a time when we were anything other than what we are today. We were always in an advanced state. No, what you saying when you say that people was in, when the Anunnaki came here, that they was in a low state, what you doing is you trying to steal our legacy and put us on the level of the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal. I see what you doing, Billy. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Our people have always been advanced. And I'm gonna crack your head with this shit you say about Akhenaten. Say that he said that the white man, and I heard how he said it. He say on the streets, and I'm gonna play that, not this time, because I'm gonna talk about this, how the Anunnaki added their DNA to monkeys and created humans. You hear that? You see? So when they got here, it wasn't nothing but monkey men on here. You see? And the Anunnaki fused their DNA into us and made us Homo sapiens. Could you believe that? So we are, we are an experiment, is what they saying. Okay, we're an experiment, and so we got to let silly Billy know that we was advanced from the beginning. We were advanced. We never developed into anything. We never from no monkey. See, you taking the story of the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal and you are trying to place that on African people. We just can't let you do that. That's very slick of you to allow Zachariah Stitch and Ashkenazi to put that information out there. Madame Blavatsky, the Ukrainian witch. And then you got old sick Alex de Crowley. All you niggas is taken from these sick ass Cro-Magnon Neanderthal witch warlocks and shit, and bringing it and teaching it to our babies as if this is something holy, something that is divine nature. No, sir, we cannot let you do it. And the fact that y'all could teach against God, and which I don't have, and we understand what that means when we say God. We know ain't no man in the sky, sitting on a goddamn toilet stool, taking prayers and shit and flushing them down the goddamn toilet when he get them, because he damn sure ain't answering them. So when he get the goddamn prayer and you write your prayer and you send it up to God, he take that motherfucker and put it right, and flush it right on goddamn down the toilet. That's all he doing. So we understand that there is no God in that concept. We understand the essence. But what he's doing is because it's like a switcheroo on you niggas. He brings you the Anunnaki. He tells you that God is not real. None of these guys. He tries to crush the African gods. He's trying to crush the Sumerian, which is African gods. He's saying there's no gods, and we understand that the gods and goddesses is us. You got to understand, we understand that there ain't no damn, that's us. When we seen that we were the manifestation of the cosmos in the flesh, we deified ourselves. So what you see in Amen is in us. Me and my brothers. That's who the Amen is. We know who Amen is. So it said the hidden, or this is the cosmic melanin that is in essence. We are of the essence. Now we are manifested in the flesh. So we understand what that means. There's no Anunnaki flying through the goddamn sky. You see, these is markers that we put in, in the cosmos to, that, keeps us understanding our divinity. When we look up and we see the constellations and we see the great goddesses and gods that we placed in the sky, those are symbols of us and our ancestors that came before us. Those are not no goddamn aliens in no another planet, nigga. What is wrong with you? You are actually doing a switcheroo right in front of these niggas' eyes, telling them that God ain't real, that you ain't no God gonna come. But you give all power to this goddamn Anunnaki, which y'all niggas don't have no more connection to the Anunnaki than you got to God. Y'all got to be the silliest niggas I ever seen in my life. You got to be the silliest niggas I ever seen in my life. And says that the Anunnaki abandoned us. They abandoned us. And so you ain't gonna ever see the Anunnaki. So he don't have to prove the Anunnaki. You don't have to prove the Anunnaki. And I can break that down on the Anunnaki of what he's saying and who they are. Those are us. The Ainu, the Twa and the giants of Africa. That's us. You see what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with no outer space, but we understand that we're connected to the stars. We understand that we're connected to the cosmos. We understand that we are the cosmos. We're not just connected, we are that. So we understand that, Billy, but you don't understand it because you still up there with all them goddamn fairy tales telling us that God don't exist, and then you serve a nigga God as Anunnaki. Shame on you, Billy. Shame on you. Shame on you. I ain't done, y'all. Let's put it up. We got to hear it from his own mouth now. Yeah, we got to hear it from his own mouth.
I'm here for all this.
We got to hear it from his own mouth. We can't just.
I don't
here you go, right. Listen to this, man. Now, I'm gonna tell you now. If you hit the trees, let me just tell you right now, you might laugh until your goddamn sides split. So I'm gonna tell you niggas, if you know, just let you know now. You didn't hit them, yeah.
The human story.
No, I ain't when you say work together. No, we ain't gonna work together.
Based on the reading of the tablets, around 450,000.
Wait a minute now.
Now that's significant because
here you go.
How far back does the human story go?
The first way is this: the Anunnaki appeared to have arrived, based on the reading of the tablets, around 450,000 years ago. Now that's significant because when they arrived here on this planet, they were creating a breakaway civilization with no intention of engaging what we will call Homo sapien. Or we weren't Homo sapien yet. It was our cousins, some type of a homo.
Wait a minute, y'all. No, I want y'all to tap. Yeah. He gonna have to straighten some of that shit up. He said we wasn't Homo sapiens yet. Them was, we was something else. Yeah. He said wait a minute now, I'm gonna bring this shit back. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Now that's significant because when they arrived here on this planet, they were creating a breakaway civilization with no intention of engaging what we would call Homo sapien. Or we weren't Homo sapien yet. It was our cousins, some type of a.
He said them was our cousins, so we was monkeys now. We was monkeys. Yes, there either you primordial. See, now he's leveled the playing field right there. We can't let him do that. We cannot let him do that. Okay, you gonna give it. We are not from the cave. We from the Garden of Eden. You see, we from paradise. We from the tropical region. There's no way we gonna let you even the playing field. You understand what I'm saying? Where the caveman, we got the same legacy as the caveman. We can't let them do that. We can't do it. We can't let them do it. Sir Typhon. We can't let him do that. No, sir. We are from the tropics. We are from the Holy Land. We are from the Ta-Netaru, the land of Punt. That's where we from. We can't allow him to say we was some goddamn we was monkeys. It's really what he's saying. We was monkeys. Hold on now.
Hominid that was here. We know the hominid was here because they state that the hominid was already here. There was already had their little communities and existences, but we were at a certain level and they added their essence to us to genetically modify and create Homo sapiens sapien after many experiments.
We experiment, y'all. We experiment. You feel me? We experiments. We ain't a divine origin. We not a divine origin. We in a fucking experiment from the Anunnaki. You see, took some goddamn, and look at that, you got to, you know, and so then now we got to, what they always do, the same shit that they doing in the so-called academic community when they get ready to recreate all these fake ass so-called hominids and shit, and they make them look all African now. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. They make them all look African. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, and this is what he's doing. He's then leveled the playing field. So here it is, right from the horse's mouth. He says that the Anunnaki added their DNA to monkeys and created humans. Now, wait a minute. Let me go and put this up here, because I had to put it up there. You understand? Because we using. Wait a minute. We using this information, and I know that they might get, you know, they might get upset at us. You understand what I'm saying? But we doing this because, you know, you still in our legacy, and we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect the legacy of our master teachers who spent, you know, many of them over 40 and 50 years, you know, 60 years, 70 years doing research. Why would we let somebody come and wash away all the hard work? We'll never have shit if we let this happen. You see, and so we had to put this up here for legal purposes. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So we had to say that, family. We got to say that so that y'all don't, you know, you don't get upset and try to, you know, flag the damn information. No, we're not going to let you do it. And so this is what you believe. I see a lot of people out here that follow Billy Carson. So my question becomes, I put the question to y'all, is this what you believe? You don't believe in black divinity. You don't believe that when you came here, you were divine in essence from the very beginning. You believe you was you was a motherfucking monkey. You was walking. That's what you believe, huh, nigga? And that Anunnaki zap your ass with a goddamn magic wand, and you stood up. You was walking around, you know, scratching fleas and shit like the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal. You see what I'm saying? That's what he's saying, goddamn it. Saying you was a goddamn caveman. You know? You was a goddamn caveman, and you walking around, and a motherfucking spaceman zapped your ass with a magic wand with some DNA in the motherfucker, and then you stood upright and you became a man. And then you let this motherfucker tell you that God is not, you know, God is not real, but the Anunnaki is real. The Anunnaki is real. The motherfucker then came from all the way across the galaxy. You understand what I'm saying? And come here and lead and became a deadbeat dad. You're no different than God. God don't never talk back to us. And so the Anunnaki is not talking back either. You see? Yeah. The Anunnaki not talking back. So what's the difference between the Anunnaki and God? What is the difference between the Anunnaki and God and what they saying? And we have to understand again, wait a minute, let me get this. I got to play this. I got to play this now. I got to play this. Where that one at? Okay. I'm gonna just keep playing some shit. I got a whole lot of shit right here from Billy. Yeah. Now listen to this. In which wait a minute, which is another crazy, I say, this nigga here, man. Oh my God, man. This man say he done been kidnapped by a goddamn alien. Which is the same thing this other cat, all these cats that be occultists, they all been kidnapped. You see, wait a minute, where that shit at? Where that shit at, man?
Yeah, we're gonna look into Billy background. Right? Sometimes you gotta follow the breadcrumbs back to where these guys come from. Right? So we're gonna look into
Is that it right there?
where Billy come from.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, y'all gonna have to buckle in for this one. Listen to this
experience, which it took a long time to talk about it because it was a bad experience for me in some ways. In some ways it was good, in some ways it was bad. It was like one of the catalysts for my divorce. Even one of my sons is still kind of standoffish because of it. But I had this experience in the house where, from my perspective, sitting there watching ESPN Sports about 9:00 p.m., the room turned lavender. I looked over my left shoulder. The TV shut off too. I looked over my left shoulder. I thought my boys were playing a trick on me. When I turned back, two what you would describe as gray aliens were in front of my face. And I didn't know what to do. I tried to scream. No sound was coming out of my throat. Whatever they were doing was making my brain shake in my skull. And then as fast as that happened, they just turned around and they kind of dangled away. They don't even walk like a regular walk. It was like a dangle.
Hey man, listen here. Listen. I don't even smoke no trees and shit, man. But goddamn it, I'm gonna tell you this: if I'm gonna listen to this shit, I might as well. And shit, motherfucker, I might as well start back up if I'm gonna take the time to listen to some crazy. You gonna tell a motherfucker God ain't real, but you gonna sit up here and say you done been kidnapped by some goddamn alien. Man, listen here, man. Y'all got to quit playing out there, man. Y'all got to come to truth. Now, listen, if you want to be a Trekkie, you know what I'm saying? And I see you niggas. You know how you catch these niggas. Y'all the type of niggas that dress up, you know what I'm saying, like Darth Vader, and go down to the Star Wars conference and shit. Yeah, we see you niggas. Yeah, we see you niggas down at the Star Wars conference, dressed up as Yoda and shit. Yeah, we know you niggas. Yeah, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But you're not gonna get away with teaching this shit as the truth. You niggas might as well say, no, God ain't real. But Yoda and Darth Vader is real. Say the goddamn, it was some aliens even stronger than the Anunnaki that beat the Anunnaki. He said that the other aliens beat the Anunnaki up. Man, y'all beat the Anunnakis up. And they ran and shit. That's exactly what he said. He said they ran all the way. They was looking for somewhere to stay. And they came to Earth and say they was on Mars and shit. And I guess they came to this galaxy and they set up some colonies on Mars, set up some colonies on Earth. And I guess they was looking for resources and shit. And once they got all the resources, then they left and they ain't never came back. And that, the pyramids and all of this shit is remnants of when they was on the planet. And so we got Billy Carson that says that he was kidnapped by some grays. He was kidnapped by some grays. Now listen here, motherfucker. If any time in nigga,
young Pharaoh said he was kidnapped by the Grays too.
Looking like that, nigga, I be telling that guy.
Young Pharaoh used to be with Seti. He ain't with Seti no more. But he said, he was abducted.
On me at all times. You see what I'm saying? Fuck that. I don't even know if I could sleep. Nigga, I probably couldn't even sleep if I seen some shit like that. And he's saying it so calmly and shit. And yeah, I thought man, I'd have been so erratic, man, even to tell that I don't give a fuck how many times, man, I couldn't believe this shit, man. I looked around and it was two big head motherfucking aliens in my house, and man, I was scared shitless. I didn't know what to do. You understand what I'm saying? My heart beat out my chest every time I think about it. I call anytime I hear the goddamn windows rumble or shake, goddamn it, I jump right on 911, goddamn it, and call the peoples. Yeah. Understand what I'm saying? Here he is, all calm, cool, and collected, talking about this shit. You understand what I'm saying? No, sir, we're not gonna let you get away with that, Billy. You understand what I'm saying? The next time the motherfucking Grays kidnap you, nigga, you better come back with some teeth or something, nigga. You better motherfucking bite one of they motherfucking fingers off or something, nigga. Don't come back here without no goddamn evidence. I'm sick of that. You understand what I'm saying? Pull one of they motherfucking eyes out the socket so we can do some DNA test on that motherfucker. But do not come back here without no goddamn evidence. You feel me? And yeah. All right, family. We ain't done. We just getting started. We talking about Silly Billy Carson, who has taken on all of the fairy tales of many occultists that have come before him. And so he don't have to take, Billy, you ain't got to take it all. You ain't got to take all the flame, but you going to get most of it. But we going to spread it out to your teachers and all the rest of the theosophists too. So you don't have to take it personal, just like, oh, he picking on me. You know, he the type of nigga say, man, well, I got it from, I didn't know. I got it from Zach. He the type of nigga that now he try to dry snitch on Zachariah Stitch. And watch he try to dry snitch. Well, I didn't, maybe I should have did some more research. I didn't know he was, I didn't know he was lying like that. Shut up, nigga. You knew what he was saying. You knew exactly what he was saying. Don't be dry snitching on Zachariah Stitching. No, sir. We're not going to let you do it. All right, family. This nigga go dry snitch on Zachariah. We be right back. We be right back. This is General Sarasun said. He said, "Hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that, man. I didn't arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power."
All right, let's see. Who is this dude? Zachariah Stinson. All right, somebody debunked him. Let's get spicy. You know the commercial coming. One of these services you consider choosing. I don't like giving them no. Well, no commercial. Billy Billy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the study of antiquity and the Middle Ages. As always, I'm your host, dabbles in fringe and especially pseudoscience, and that is Zachariah Sitchin. And so my biggest question is, he's famous for all of these translations and theories and all of this other good stuff that I know really very little about. My question is, how accurate were his translations? What does he get wrong? But before we jump into it, would you mind telling us a little bit about who he actually was?
Well, Zachariah Sitchin was,
A crackle.
I believe he was lived in Palestine, then later Israel, then moved to New York. But I think he got an economics degree in London, and then became the head of a shipping company. So he's not like a trained Sumerologist. He didn't actually professionally study any of the stuff he's talking about in his books. But, you know, he was an amateur who's interested in the subject, and I think that that's great. You know, as far as his Sumerian, he taught himself. But when you teach yourself, Okay. Sometimes you don't always know what you're supposed to study. Okay. So personally, looking at his translations and things like that, I think he kind of did a half-assed job of teaching himself, because he doesn't take certain things into account that you would want to take into account when you're studying Sumerian. For example, we actually have dictionaries from ancient Mesopotamia. The ancient Mesopotamian scribes created dictionaries. Now, they have all kinds of lexical lists. That's just sometimes groupings of common words in their language, but some of them have an inventory of the word meanings, right? And it tells you in the languages that they used what the words meant. And he doesn't seem to avail himself of that information when he makes his translations. Like, for example, when he translated the word Anunnaki, right? Now, what did I told you that the word means of royal seed, okay? But he translates it to mean from heaven to earth came, right? Breaking down Anunnaki into components, and basically I think he just broke them into components, opened up a Sumerian dictionary, and then looked for those words, not really understanding the grammar of words or anything like that. So Anu, I think he says, means the heaven, right? Which is the god Anu, who represents the sky. And Ki is the word for earth, representing the earth. And then Na he interprets as coming, to come. So heaven came to earth, something like that. But he's just like breaking it up into parts based on just whatever, he wanted, and then looking up the individual words in the dictionary and then saying it means that, without understanding how it was formed, or even understanding that the word Anunnaki isn't the original word, that Anunnaki is just an Akkadian translation of Anuna, and it's Anuna that he's supposed to be looking at. Anunnaki actually isn't Sumerian at all. It's Akkadian.
Hold on now. Yeah. See, I ain't never heard nobody talk about the Anuna. Okay, A-N-U and then A. Maybe we'll look into that next.
Anuna is Sumerian. But yeah, so and Sitchin's word meanings and translations of.
And notice the Sumerians, we have a summer, right? Sumerian, S-U-M-E-R, summer, S-U-M-M-E-R. Literally the same word.
Sumerian and Mesopotamian words are not consistent with the Mesopotamian.
Keep in mind, that's over there in Iraq in the desert. So when it's hot, they call it Sumer.
Bilingual dictionaries produced by Akkadian scribes. The Akkadian scribes are saying, here's a word, what it means in Sumerian, and here's an Akkadian word for it, and so on. He doesn't use that. If he talks about a word meaning whatever in Sumerian, and it never shows up in that language with that meaning, then he's probably wrong. In other words, he gives meaning sometimes to words, not in the case of Anunnaki, but sometimes he gives meanings to words that aren't even a meaning that you can find in any of the dictionaries, right? So that's why I would say he's a bit untrustworthy in that regard.
And as a reminder to my subscribers, I always like to say, being someone who has in sources, I have That's one thing I noticed. Any video that I do on the ancient Sumerians, I get a lot of commenters saying they're happy to see a YouTube channel actually do real history.
All right. Zachariah Stitchin, when will the Anunnaki return? The last ever public Q&A. Is that Joe's slogan? All right. Let's see what that's like.
But that there was another planet outside the Kuiper Belt, somewhere outside of Pluto. It's one of the reasons why they declassified Pluto as a planet. But now they're almost positive that there's a planet out there. They said, I think that they said within 99% certainty that there's a gigantic planet somewhere around 4 to 5 times the size of the Earth that is out way, way, way past Jupiter. And so I was going to a lot of these YouTube videos that were describing it and then reading the comments. The comments were fascinating. So that's a totally different sort of world.
Yeah.
You know, people are debating like the ramifications. And then every now and then, one of the Zachariah Sitchin people would jump in there. Do you know who Zachariah Sitchin is?
No.
Zachariah Sitchin was a guy who actually, ironically enough, predicted this in the 70s. He called it the 12th planet because that's when they thought Pluto was still a planet. And then they thought the moon was a planet. Like this is all based on the Sumerian text. This is all getting real convoluted now. But Zachariah Sitchin, he is a biblical scholar. He's dead now, but he wrote all these books about this culture of another planet called the Anunnaki. And this is transcribing the ancient Sumerian text. The Sumerians were the oldest. There he is. See that thing that he's holding up in front of him? That is a piece of Sumerian art. Well, what's interesting is you see that star. You see the star, the sun with all the planets? That is our solar system. It's not just our solar system. That is all the planets in all the right sizes, which is kind of fucking crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And this was 6,000 years ago when a lot of people didn't even think that they thought the world was flat, right? But it also depicted this orbit, this what they believe is one of the things that the Sumerian texts describe is this elliptical orbit of this planet called Nibiru. And this planet is in the outside edge of our solar system. It comes between Mars and Jupiter. This Zachariah Sitchin translation, I think it was every 3,600 something years. And that this is where the Anunnaki came from. And then what they did is they came down here, they studied some lower hominids, they introduced their DNA into these lower hominids and made human beings. And so he had predicted this planet being outside of our solar system for a long time. It's different.
And it's there.
Yeah, it is there.
Do we know what's on this planet?
Well, the orbit is different. The size of the orbit is different compared to what he described. No, we don't even have a picture of it, so we definitely don't know what it looks like. But the Anunnaki, as described by Zachariah Sitchin, is the same thing as in the biblical term of the Elohim. Like there's also different descriptions of these giants that came from somewhere else. Like those, I think the description of Anunnaki, what it means is those from heaven to earth came. And the idea is that these advanced beings came down here and genetically engineered human beings. It's discredited by other scholars of ancient Babylonian and Sumerian culture. But see, when you do look at some of the stuff, though, you go, okay, well, how did they know about the solar system? How did they know about all those planets? Not only that, they had the caduceus, the caduceus, the symbol for medicine. It's also the double helix of DNA, and that's what he believes it represented. He believes that caduceus symbol that they had represents DNA, and that's what the ancient Sumerian.
That's not true. That's the Damballa traditional African spiritual practice symbol of the Damballa. It's a voodoo symbol, right? And the reason why it's on the medicine shit is like I was telling you about that banned book of eternal life. You know what I mean? The hoodoo witch doctor knew herbalism and botanica, so they could heal you. They could keep you healthy with their little plants and root work hookups, right? It'll keep your your shit running how it's supposed to run. So that's where the double snake shit come from, Damballa, right? So check out my video on that. So we is debunking old what's this fool name? Zachariah Sitchin. Go.
Ancient Sumerian people were trying to describe when they carved these things into clay tablets. They were trying to, as best they could, make some sort of a rational, logical depiction of what they were being told by these ancient people.
Damn. So we might.
Why they wearing fezzes and turbans? Why the Anunnaki? Did you see that the Anunnaki are wearing fezzes and turbans?
might have already figured it out once, and then we're figuring it out again.
So you look at the double helix of
Oh.
DNA, and then you look at the caduceus, where this intertwined. You see the
But
top
like,
one with
if
the
I
two
was gonna,
eagles.
if I was 6,000 years old, man, and I was gonna design some shit with
I mean,
snakes, I mean,
6,000
like,
years ago.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it would kind of look like that.
Well, but it does look like a double helix of DNA. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very, very similar.
But it also looks like a guy was just like trying to decorate with two snakes
totally
doing the tango.
But why does it represent medicine, and why does it still represent medicine today? That caduceus, that symbol, still represents medicine today.
True.
Because it's these are the Moors, right? The more civilized England, right? So when the troglodyte and them got a hold of it, they worshipped it. Like they ain't come up with this shit. So when they got a hold of it through the Moors who civilized them, there you go. That's why it's on, Catholic and Cracker, all them buildings you seen. Who's running Big Pharma? Ashkenazi. Who's running Big Pharma? Ashkenazi. Come on, man.
True. That's
It's
that
all-
one I'm having trouble
There's some
explaining.
weird shit. There's also some weird shit in terms of some of the imagery that they had of the solar system. One is one of the most telling because it's really bizarre that without a telescope, they were able to draw a detailed image of the solar system. Like, how the fuck did they do that? How did they know that there was that many planets out there? How were they able to differentiate between stars and planets? How did they know the right number of planets?
Yeah.
Not only that, they also had a
See, they're telling you it in reverse, right? These NASA scientists, when they develop these telescopes and, satellites, all that wild shit, the technology basically, they was looking at the Dogon and this shit. They was looking at the bibliotext of the three wise men that followed the stuff. Like, they was looking into occult shit. Don't think these fucking government agencies, okay, that commission and sanction these astronautical explorations, and you need grants and permits to do this shit. Stop what you're doing. You think this is independent people that mapped out the planet? Most geniuses was Freemasons and occultists throughout history. So, stop it.
they also had a detailed depiction of the creation of the moon.
So they're making it seem like the crackers end up discovering the shit, and then it just match up with the ancient shit, as if the scientists of the day, the palm-colored scientists of the day, didn't know nothing about that, wasn't looking to it, ain't heard nothing about it, discovered the planets, and then on the back end, people like who, right? Oh, it match. Right.
They have two, scientists and astronomers, they have Earth 1 and Earth 2, meaning that Earth was a certain size and a certain shape in the beginning, and then it was hit by another planet. That's also in the ancient Sumerian depiction of how the universe was created, or how the solar system was created. There's a planet called Marduk and Tiamat, and Tiamat collided with Marduk or something like that. I forget exactly but essentially it's Earth 1 and Earth 2. It's the same model that actual astrologers.
So did you hear that? Now Marduk and Tiamat, not the god, the serpent, dragon god, and all that, Tiamat, not Ma'at from Egypt and all that, but now they two planets that collided.
Astronomers use today when they're describing the Earth.
But he thinks these people from the other planet came here and created humans.
He does. He thinks, well, he's dead. He did. He believed that that's what the ancient Sumerian text was trying to describe. But there's a whole website called sitchiniswrong.com, and sitchiniswrong.com is from other scholars who were tired of listening to all this, what they felt was nonsense. And they sort of laid out what they think is incorrect about his translations.
So Billy Carson saying the same thing Zachariah Stitchin saying. Zachariah Stitchin shit was so wrong that when this is hard to do, intellectuals came together and put a website together where they, you feel what I'm saying, around the different locations on the planet was like putting information on this website. Like that's how bad motherfuckers wanted Billy Carson and them, debunked.
But at the end of the day, put the translations aside, and you're looking at a 6,000-year-old depiction of the solar system. It's like, what the fuck is that? Not only that, there's these also depictions of these enormous people with these little monkey people sitting in their lap. And this was what he believed was describing the Anunnaki's
What he believed. You see what I'm saying? It's not like the research pointed to that. You see a picture of the monkey man and you like, oh, that's me. I'm the monkey man. Like, okay, it's dope. You had a belief and a theory and you interpret it. That's dope. But let's see what we can nail down. Let's see what we can prove and unprove, confirm, and, like, what are we doing? Know the ledge. Like, we just going with blank statements. Like, that's us. That's like no questions asked, nothing more to talk about.
Anunnaki's genetic alterations of monkeys, of taking these lower hominids, introducing their superior.
And see, this is the I'm prove this Anunnaki shit. They just proved it. It's the Tamahu, right? The Egyptians created. I got y'all. This is the RH negative in the troglodyte, the Bigfoot, the hairy man, the wild man, right? The beast. This is the homunculus. Okay, I see what they doing now. They telling you that they created from monkeys. This is big. They telling you they created from monkeys, which is a fact. That's why they got RH negative. I remember I did the wet dog smell. Go back and check the videos, right? Troglodyte. So now with the Anunnaki story, they telling you that they made from apes, but they don't want you to know you did it, right? The nigga did it. Okay, this is. I think I might have put it together.
Their superior advanced DNA into these monkeys and creating something that's very different. Do. I know we would do it. I'll tell you that for fuck sure, right? Those things like Avatar, right? Guys, these enormous looking characters have these little tiny monkey people with thumbs on their feet, and they're sitting on this guy's lap.
They have thumbs on their feet.
Yeah, in the drawing. Yeah, they're smaller and they have thumbs on their lap. And according to the text, this guy describes it something called cuneiform. And cuneiform, it's like, have you ever been in an old building that has like those old school nails? Do you know what those old school nails look like? Like in the turn of the century, they were like a flat top, but it was almost like a wedge, and that's what nails looked like.
Oh,
That's how that was their writing. That's not it, Jamie. But that's one of them that's similar though. But this is Egyptian. You're looking at something that's Egyptian. But the Anunnaki one.
He said they got it from Egypt.
You had it from just, if you go back to that window that you had before. Go back to that window that you had before that had the depiction of the solar system.
Clicked around. Oh, on that one. Okay.
Yeah, because when you went whatever search that you used for that, there was one of them that had one of those homeboys had one of them sitting on his lap. Right up there at the top. See right there, bam. See that?
oh,
Like, look at that.
with the thumb foot.
Yeah, there's a few of these that have little weird that people think are depictions of things with tails. It's very strange stuff, man. It's very strange. At the very least, they had an advanced
That guy looks
knowledge.
like a Teletubby, the one he's holding up. He kind of looks like a Teletubby.
Well, it doesn't look like a monkey in that picture, but in some of them, they actually look like they have
Yeah.
tails. There's all sorts of weird stuff involved in it. Their knowledge of the solar system was one of the most disturbing things, because you're talking about 6,000 years ago. Like,
All right, I figured it out. Hold on, we're about to get into it. Let's see if SETI Back live. It don't appear. Yeah, I don't think so. No. All right, so what this is the mixer. I see what they doing. I'm about to show y'all what's going on here. Figured it out.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Bohosi Kupe channel. We are back yet again with a great. Without further ado, my name is Basimani Bofopani, aka Mighty V, and as always, somewhat recognize some of the hieroglyphs. This sounds more like the language that we speak, but it sounds a little bit funnier or spoken in a different tone. Of course, I did not have any access to materials that I could study at the time, but I eventually made the effort to actually find the material, and of course went through initiation and learned how to read and write. And the basic fundamentals that I gained through initiation allowed me to dedicate myself into doing more research and uncovering more and more stuff and being able to bring it in a perspective that is
All right, let's just see what the fuck you got. You see?
At the time, but I eventually made the effort to actually find the material. And if you don't know the true meanings of names, then what we're trying to say about race will be mainly speculation with some to my own language. We already have it, the translation for Nesut Biti. Right? It is found in our languages, but for the sake of general. So many people have speculated and said that the Tamahu are Libyans, and these are Libyans right here, dressed in, draped in what you would consider quote unquote. So the question is, were they ancient Egyptians referred? All right. It's a ch sound, but it's also
that sound correct. Okay, so you got racism.
That's one of the things I would most like you to come away with from this lecture. First of all, you cannot study the Egyptians as an archaeologist or as an astronomer or as a philosopher or as an anthropologist. You must put it all together because they put it all together. If you read what the Greeks said, not what we think, but if you read what the Greeks said, they said they got everything from Egypt. They got all their knowledge from Egypt.
Recordings just got better.
Y'all need to hear that. Y'all need to hear that. Well, let's
Egypt. They got all their knowledge from Egypt. Pythagoras spent 15 years in Egypt. And what did he have to do? He probably had to spend 5 years convincing them that he was worthy to get the knowledge that they had.
And they called Pythagoras the father of math. And he had to go to the Egyptian mystery school to learn it. So when I tell y'all that math itself is a cult, right? You think I'm spinning a web. Why is the mathematics motherfucker talking about knowledge in ancient Egypt and racism? Right? Because he done walked the math origins back and found out where it come from. You think Pythagoras and the Greeks is where it's at. But when you do the research and find out they got their shit from Africa, don't say Egypt, say Africa, right? Then you understand when you get into the African Egyptian shit that they telling you they was the monkeys that, you know, created the troglodyte, right? I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show you.
Remember, knowledge was power. Knowledge was sacred. Knowledge was something you just didn't publish in the newspapers. Knowledge was guarded very closely because it was of tremendous value. You wouldn't give it to anybody. You would give it to somebody who was willing to shave his head and be a penitent for 5 years, and then you might start to tell him things. Okay? And the Greeks did this. Pythagoras did this. Other Greeks did this. And they said that they got all their knowledge from the Egyptians. Now, when did we come up with the idea that the Greeks created everything from scratch? Well, believe it or not, it happened in the 18th and 19th century.
Tell them.
And it's an unfortunate fact of life that Romanticism, which has many great things about it, also has a dark side, which has to do with racism. And in the 18th and 19th century, it was decided that it was just not appropriate for all this knowledge to come from an African country. Where
Billy Carson. Is anybody watching this live? Nope. Nobody is watching it live. Right. But for anybody that sees this live, this is cold-blooded. You can hear what this guy's saying and feel it. You can feel that this is the truth. You can tell this is the truth. I'm vouching for him and telling you my research says the same thing, right? And I done watched all the Billy Carson shit. I done listened to all the, you know, what's the blow younger name? Young Pharaoh shit. So I know the, you know, Mothership, Funkadelic, Cosmic Slop. I get it. I'm not naive to it. I done watched hours and read hours of the shit. So I get it. I understand it. I get it. But researching other informations on this topic, and you come to this. And this is the truth. They got this shit from Africa. I told you niggas don't, let me turn it up. I told you niggas don't say Egypt. Stop saying Egypt. Stop saying Egypt. Say Africa. Stop saying Egypt is America and Egypt. Stop saying Egypt. Just for the sake of really understanding what the fuck is going on. Stop saying Egypt. Say Africa. Right? Don't get into what the troglodyte do and refer themselves to Greek and Rome. And that's just a little ass Providence, right? That ain't the name of the fucking continent. So do you get what the fuck I'm saying?
Where would that knowledge, if it survived to the time of the Roman Empire, where would it have been kept? Yes. In Alexandria, in the museum, the library at Alexandria. And what happened to the library? It was burned.
He teaching them homunculus right? What they did, Alexandria, what happened? They burnt it down. Who? Greece. Because once the quote unquote Moors, and this is for anybody that's Moorish, right? Once you civilize the caveman, look what they did in return. So who get the slap in the back of the head? Who bought this goddamn dog in this house that shitted on my goddamn floor? Who bought this funky ass dog home done shitting on my good Egyptian fluffy rug? Who bought this goddamn dog? Who? Where you at, Moors? Now the motherfucker came home and fuck shit on the rug and burnt the goddamn library down. This is the equivalent of the Vatican Library, which they took the shit back to. So just to put it in perspective, matter of fact, this the Vatican Library maybe times 5, right? Let's keep it modest. Times 5. They done burnt and looted the jump. And you Moors, you Anunnaki with the fez and the turban, you turned them, you Egyptian, you turned them into, you get the credit, right, Moors? Who civilized you? Who civilized you? Look what they did in return. And you get the title of Anunnaki. Why they done took this shit and this is the thing, Moors, right? I know Moors in real life. They in the streets just like me, right? They moving and grooving just like me. They ain't in the lap of luxury, right? So it look cute to be like we civilized them, yeah, right? But you should be the main motherfuckers mad. You should be flaming hot. You should be still at war with the pale, with the palm color, right? I don't want to hear shit about nothing if it ain't about the motherfuckers that burnt your shit down, that took your legacy. You America, you from here, Moor, Morocco, America, Tamaru, the whole shebang, you from here. And you work in the motherfucking car wash. And you work at the motherfucking warehouse. Like, do you get what the fuck I'm saying? You at the goddamn restaurant. Do you get what the fuck? Do you understand what the fuck I'm saying? Man, come on, man.
Burned in a war, okay? And at that point,
Took you motherfuckers to war. And thousands of motherfuckers died for you niggas to be in cahoots the whole time. Or the nigga you trained to kill took you to war.
what happened to those books that were burned? If they were written in living languages, there was a scholar someplace who had memorized the book and could just write it down again. But if it was in a dead language, like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, end of story. Can't be reconstructed.
Crackers. You see what they did? Drop a like for that.
Save time and money booking your all-inclusive vacation with
Stop it. Okay, so we're getting somewhere, but I ain't done with you. Let's see if no, the beef ain't back cooking. All right, well, while we got time, let me shout out Brett Carr. We about to get into this. Y'all gonna get this work tonight. No, wait, I had something else I wanted y'all to see. Hold on. The other dude. But, well, fuck that. We'll get back to him. Y'all gonna walk with me on this train of thought, right? Ciao. Okay, now I don't know if this was I don't know if he dropped it in a lie. Billy Carson busted about lying. Fuck it, we got to skim through it.
How's it going, guys and goddesses? This is the Akura back at you. So this is going to be a quick video. You know, humans created a race of human with their genetic imprint. So, you know, the Chinese people, some alien came down here, took their genetic imprint and created the Chinese people. Another group of aliens created the East Indian. You know, another group of aliens came down, created the Caucasian, the Aboriginal, and so forth. When science, the DNA has shown that all these different groups were birthed from a sub-Saharan Black African woman. So all these different groups that Billy Carson is saying came from aliens actually comes from a Black African woman. But we got him backtracking. Okay, he backtracked. So I guess word must have got back to him on that video I dropped on you, Mr. Billy Carson. Okay, we know you work for that Gaia, and you know I think you're a government agent. I can't prove that.
Shout out to my man. Hey, y'all got to go subscribe to my man. Y'all got to go subscribe to my man. Okay. Y'all got to go subscribe to my man. Woo, let's get back into it.
But someone is in your head, man. Okay? But you backtrack. And I don't know whether to give you credit or not to give you credit. But I know why you backtrack, man. Okay? I dropped the video on you. People watched the video. I guess word got back to you. So now you're trying to sneak with a video backtracking without, you know, admitting where you was wrong at. You didn't come out and say, hey, man, there was no aliens. Often send some aliens out here and create the Chinese people from the genetic imprint. You didn't clarify it fully, but you try to backtrack. And, you know, I caught you. All right. And I don't have nothing against you, brother. Woman. And you're perpetuating this crap that keeps us at the bottom of the totem pole. And that just we can't let that go down, man. All right, so we're gonna get into Billy Carson, man. We're gonna expose him. Okay, today's date is March 28th, 2024. It says right here, he had just dropped his video 4 hours ago. All right, 4 hours ago on March 28th, 2024. These is Billy Carson, the Ashkenazi puppet agent. All right. So I dropped these videos 2 months ago. And old Mr. Carson right here dropped his video, Anunnaki Ancient Secrets, revealed by Billy Carson. And right here, he backtracks, but he does not.
So my man been on his line for a minute. Okay, Billy.
Genetic imprint on people, creating different races from their genetic imprint. He never retracted off of that. Okay, but he did backtrack, and we're gonna get into that. Okay, right here, about around the 51-minute mark. Okay, he's discussing how the Anunnaki came here as space refugees, and they invaded the planet, which is, you know, pretty much what I've been saying. And he doesn't, you know, give the retraction saying that and created these different races of human on the planet. He doesn't retract any of those statements. But he does say right here, okay, hold on here. Okay, right here, he says, these people, the Anunnaki, got here. They did not make human beings. The Anunnaki did not make human beings. Somebody a long time prior had brought us here before they even arrived. Now, where did he get that from? Okay, let me play the video. If this video happens to get banned, I'll just redo the video. Then we're going to start right here about the 52:36 mark. Here's Billy Carson.
These people were space refugees.
And what do you do if you can get off of a planet and escape? You look for a place that's safe. And when you get there, like, unfortunately, some got here, some came here at a time where we were at a fallen state. So let me explain this. People on this planet were before these people got here.
Right there, man. He said people were already on this planet before the Anunnaki got here. Now, where did he get that bright idea from? The pyramids and thought would trap these orbs and house them in bodies. Mr. Billy Carson housed them into a clone because an orb is a conscious entity. That's what we all are. And I know you don't know these things. So this was not no physical space alien.
Okay, so let's see. That ain't what I wanted to show y'all. So Billy Carson versus Credo Mutar, white lies, propaganda, and the thought deception. They say the thought deception, priesthood of Tahuti exposes Anunnaki influence in human slavery. Damn, let's see what he got to peek in on that.
How's it going, guys? God says the Rob back at you. It's kind of right.
These ancient people say she used to capture 30 or more slave women, black, making slaves of black. And
there you go. Blacks making slaves of blacks. Okay, so basically what he's referencing here is the star people, aka these Anunnaki, were black. They came down here and enslaved the black people that were originally here on this planet. Okay, so didn't no Anunnaki come down here and create black people. That's some fuck.
So that's what your boy Quato Mutua saying. Okay, and I played this clip about the Dogon and the Nomo, right? Quato Mutua is the Dogon guy, right? And I dropped his lecture on the Nomo and the Dogon. But Quato Mutua say that they was amphibious, reptilian, right? So, hey, if you look back on that Credo Mutua video, I swear he wearing a Masonic collar made of like brass. If you go back and look at my video on what a Masonic collar is, once you know what it is, if you go back and look at that Credo Mutua video I posted, it looked like he's wearing a Masonic collar, in my opinion.
Fucking shit. All right. What they did was they came down here and they made harems of the women. All right. And because they had higher technology, these motherfuckers could have their way with us. Travis the Dweller and his brothers of light will come up to the underworld and possess the Atlanteans. Okay, don't demons possess, all caught up into the craft of Thoth, Hermes Tahuti, and here he is with his girl Marina Abramovic. So you take a mouse, the science of sorcery, because you see that's a coil, but guess what else is a coil, people? Your DNA is a coil. All right. And if you send current through this coil, it will create a spiral up the DNA spiral, and you're going to resonate electromagnetic energy. And all you have to do is this universal vortex, you can resonate with that. Okay. If you open the vortex, you got to know how to close it. Because once you start accessing power and it becomes like an avalanche, and you can't stop that avalanche, okay, you can get buried. Okay, so, just be very careful. Tore up all my shit.
Well, let's see. What is...
Now,
No,
I tore up all my shit, but
thing.
that's why they be floating around during wartime. Hold on. There you go. There's the orbs up in the sky. Okay, around wartime.
So okay, we got this guy. He talking about we ain't get into the priesthood of Tahuti. We need to look into that. The Tahuti atrocities, human versus humankind. This probably was a good one. It's Billy Carson and Ashkenazi puppet agent. But before we go there, I got to show you this other shit. You got Bobby Hemmett. Y'all subscribe to this channel, man. Brett Carr. Oh, he was about to do it. Oh, yeah. See why it's in the Middle East? And then this is man, I'm about to show y'all, man. It's your Anunnaki shit, right? I'm gonna show you though. Let's see. Oh, video unavailable. Banned from YouTube. That was tough. Let's get back to what we was here, what we looking for. Let's get straight to it. Was it about? It was about around this time, about 5 years ago. See, I've been kind of hip to this, thanks to this dude right here.
you motherfuckers. I hope you all die.
Damn.
That was bred into the Bigfoot showed any Neanderthal DNA. West Africa, not too far from, right? Nigeria. And that's a lot of Nigerians have that R1B bloodline, and they inherited probably from tribes of Chad. And these Chad bloodlines, they were mixed in with another hominid. And I'm suspecting, since it's R1B, that's the dog man. That's cynocephaly. Okay. All right. As you can see right there on the map. All right. Okay. Cynocephaly. If you haven't watched earlier videos, that's the dog man. That's Anubis, dog-headed people. Okay. That goes back to dog man. And that's one of the height of a Bigfoot. It's very tall, long arms. They're unnaturally long. This motherfucker walking around like a goddamn ape. And he's taller than, average. And had to have the facial patterns of an Asian, which ties back to this Yunnan snub-nosed monkey hybrid, okay? Or the golden snub-nosed monkey. Okay, hold on. As you see right here, this is golden snub-nosed monkey. All right. If you look close, you can see the Asian features in this monkey. Okay, you can see the Chinese-like features in this monkey right here. This monkey right here is kin to the Yunnan snub-nosed monkey. Okay, it's kin to that monkey. Okay, they're cousins. And you can clearly see the Asian features in this. Now, this urine is no doubt a humanized version of this monkey. Okay, whether it's the golden snub-nosed monkey or whether it's the Yunnan snub-nosed monkey. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Okay, this right here is a urine. All right, the Chinese urine. Now, if I take it back and compare it to this golden snub-nosed monkey here, like you see, got colored fur, got the facial pattern of the Asian. If you go back over here and get to the urine, hold on, let me see if I can get to it. Let me go back to, okay, that's the Yunnan snub-nosed monkey. That's the golden snub-nosed monkey. And that's the urine that has the multi-colored fur similar to the golden snub-nosed monkey.
Look what it say. I told y'all, the Chinese wild man, the homunculus.
Similar to that monkey. Okay. You see the multi-colored fur right there. All right. That's what happened was Black African took his DNA, spliced it into his monkey, and created like an ape-like type of creature. And if you look at the baboon, I don't want to say the baboon, but if you look at the orangutan looks a whole lot like a spider monkey. But anyway, as you see the Asian features. You splice this monkey with human DNA. Okay, you're going to create two populations. You come to find out that no African tribe today had the DNA of Zaina, but this Brian Sykes determined that this pre-ancient DNA was sub-Saharan African, even though no sub-Saharan African in any population had the DNA of Zaina. See, he tried to flip it around, try to lie, and try to say that there's pre-ancient marker, anything that's pre-ancient marker, he automatically just listed.
So apparently Zaina, the ape woman of Abkhazia, was not a human, right? So what this does, it doesn't necessarily prove the Anunnaki, right? The space alien. That don't, just because you had the ape man here, don't mean that the space alien created the ape man, right? But if you yourself saying that you evolved, once you say evolved, that means that there was ape first and then came you, right? Look, you see the dog man, Sasquatch. Look, the last living Neanderthal, Russian Bigfoot. They telling you that they are the Bigfoot. Do you see this? The last living Neanderthal, Russian Bigfoot, the Bigfoot guy, 700,000 views. When I say he the troglodyte and he the Bigfoot and why they RH negative and all that, I'm on some other shit. But when the troglodyte himself, when the Neanderthal himself, when the Cro-Magnon himself
did it as it being African, when in reality well, he listed as being sub-Saharan African. But in reality, it's a hybrid. Zaina was a descendant of a hybrid. Okay. And, you know, the DNA had to be of some kind of animal or another type of hybrid. And we know they were breeding hybrids right there in Siberia, because that's where Zaina comes from. You know, she's a Russian Siberian Yeti. Okay. And right there in the Dmancy caves, they have the, you know, right there in Russia, they had those Homo erectus skulls. See, here you go, man. Skull of Homo erectus throws story of human evolution into disarray. Okay. Because, yeah, they're going to throw human evolution in disarray because the whole evolution theory is a bunch of bullshit. The whole Darwinism, this is all backcrossing. Because as you can see, you know, with the Chinese ape man and with this Zaina right here, that these hybrids can breed in with humans. Okay. Okay. A haul of fossils found in Georgia suggest that half a dozen species of early Homo ancestors were actually all Homo erectus. Okay. These are a wide variety of skulls that they call Homo erectus. Hold on. Let's see if we get into that.
You're a legend. No need to introduce yourself to anyone in this room.
Here it is right here.
Near the southern border of Georgia and Central Asia lies the small hilltop town of Dmanisi. Excavations here by David Lord Kipanidze of the Georgian National Museum have uncovered the oldest remains of early human ancestors ever seen outside Africa. Field scientists working at the site in the year 2000 uncovered the fossil of a large jawbone that dates back to 1.8 million years ago.
Okay, they're making up dates. Okay, 1.8 million.
What stood out to me was he saying the first, you know, kind of, I guess, hominid outside of Africa, and you giving me the ape man. But when I look up the oldest corpse in Africa, it ain't an ape man. It's like Lucy or like some type of Bantu pygmy. If anything, it's tiny. It's not a. So it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Years, that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, see the way the Caucasoid does, the more ape that the hominid, different breeds of human, and they're all going to have different habitats, and they're all going to have different skull shapes. And they're finding all these wide variety skulls in the same fucking cave. See, because this is back crossing. Okay, just as you've seen an example of back crossing, like I said, when that urine raped that Asian woman and produced that 7-foot ape man that looked Chinese. Because we know that urine ties back to that unisnub-nosed monkey that looks Chinese. But here you go.
So different, in fact, that fossils thought to come from different species of human ancestors in Africa, such as Homo habilis and Homo rudolfensis, may not have been separate species at all.
See, now they're saying all those different breeds of Homo erectus weren't a different species. No, they're the same species because that's back crossing. See, the 50-50 ape-human hybrid comes from the human species, but also comes from the monkey species. And the 75% human, 25% ape. Okay, that's the same species as the 50% human, 50% ape. It's also same, arguably same species as the human. Is also the same species as the monkey. You got a hybrid, and that's what you're finding right here in these caves. You're finding the back crossing of these hybrids, and they were breeding hybrids, and we know they were breeding hybrids because the Denisovan that's in the DNA of the Aboriginal and the people of Papua New Guinea. The Denisovan finger bone was also 17% Neanderthal. So somewhere down the line, the Neanderthal and the Denisovan had to breed, or the ancestors of the Neanderthal and Denisovan had to breed in order to produce the Denisovan and the Neanderthal. And they probably back crossed it, with human DNA or another hominid and produced the Denisovan as opposed to the Neanderthal, which is why they ended up being two breeds of hominid, because they were breeding hominids in these caves. Just as you've seen right here in the Dmancy caves where they were breeding hominids, which is why they're finding these wide range of skull patterns.
Instead, the scientists believe that all, or at least most, of these creatures belong to one evolving lineage of.
Okay, see, they got this skull looking like an ape man. See, they got it looking like an ape man, and this ape man looks like a Bigfoot, looks like a Sasquatch. Okay. And this is the Dmancy Cave. And this is their depiction. And hold on, we're gonna get into. Okay, this right here is the Bigfoot Patterson Gimlin film.
Step is to stabilize the film itself, frame by frame, to compensate for Patterson's movements. This process will create the clearest version of the film ever analyzed. After a month of painstaking work, the results are stunning.
Okay, this right is the Patterson Gimlin film. That's the Bigfoot, and that's what they caught on picture. And here they are having something that looks very similar to this Bigfoot that you see right there, Bigfoot. And there's that Homo erectus that they found in those fucking caves, and that's your depiction. It looks exactly like the fucking Bigfoot. See that? Because the Bigfoot is a modern day Neanderthal. It's a different breed of Neanderthal. This Bigfoot has the DNA of a fucking lemur, a prosimian. All right? We're going to break all that down. Okay? But I'm showing you that these hybrids were being bred in the caves. And they were breeding these hybrids, and then they take these hybrids, breed them, as I showed you with the urine can breed back with humans. These hybrids can breed back with humans. And what they were doing, they were humanizing these hybrids, humanizing them and creating different breeds of human, just as you saw with that urine raping that Asian lady. And the offspring was a more human. They were taking the male hominids, bringing them back with female humans. Okay. Okay, these are the Nashu. All right, these are the Nalakti people of the South Sudan, and you can kind of see the Asian in them. Kind of, they're just humanized lemurs. That's why they had a continent called Lemuria. 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 Okay. So like I said, I can't 100% verify that the monkey comes from.
So, what this guy is saying is that the hominids, right, not broken down with like how the Anunnaki saw them as like already monkey people, right? Hold on, we talking about you see who the hominid is, right? And what he's saying is this where you get the great apes from, as you see how you did the hominid with the small apes, and anthropoids came out of the hominid, but not Anunnaki, but they saying that the Africans did this.
From the lemur. I can't 100% verify that, but there's evidence. That rhesus monkey, that's evidence. That Deloitte's ape, that's evidence. Okay? That rhesus monkey is Rh positive. All right. Okay, there's more reasons why I say that these lemurs could have been spliced with human DNA and produced monkeys. There you go. Ancient lemurs take bite out of evolutionary tree. Okay, there you go. Hold on, let me move my microphone just a little bit further, closer here. All right. Okay, artist reconstruction of lower jaw of 37 million year old Egyptian primate. Okay. Aphrodapis. Okay. This is a primate. Okay. And you can see the fangs right there growing in. And this is a lemur. All right. There you go. October 21st, 2009. Okay. View a video featuring Stony Brook University paleontologist Eric Seifert. Okay. Here he goes. Yeah, about 40 miles outside of Cairo, Egypt. All right. National Science Foundation, NSF, supported paleontologists from 3 American universities are revealing features of a newly discovered African primate. There it is. They found this thing in Africa, a lemur. All right. And solving a riddle about humankind's evolutionary past. Here they go. Here they go. All right. Lead researchers Eric Seifert of New York Stony Brook University and his colleagues say their find has the potential to clear up a portion of the human evolutionary tree by resolving the location of a misplaced species. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Hold on. Okay, so I'm exposing everything that this caucasoid is trying to hide from you. Okay. These ancient lemurs right here were found in Egypt. Okay. In Egypt, they mummified bodies of animals by the millions. Okay. When you mummify a body, you're preserving the DNA. Okay. I'm going to kind of gloss over that real fast. Okay.
Listen carefully now, because after this, I'm gonna take you in the homunculus, but you got to listen carefully.
As you see right here in the Journal of Archaeological Sciences, let's get a sciencedirect.com.
See, that's why I love research, right? Because research, like reading a good book, you don't know where it's gonna take you, and sometimes the fantastical be the made real and factual bars.
/science article. There you go. If you can see that web address. All right. Hold on. It says right here, Journal of Archaeological Science, preservation of DNA in ancient Egyptian mummies. Okay. The presence of DNA has demonstrated in the cell nuclei of an ancient Egyptian mummy fragment when extracted. This DNA proved to be degraded to be considerable extent and chemically modified. However, the preservation of nucleic acids in the specimen suggests that applying recombinant DNA techniques to the study of ancient mummified tissue might prove to be a fruitful future area of research. All right. Okay. There you go right there. See, mummification preserves DNA. All right. Hold on. And here's the article right here in Nature. Right there. Egyptian mummies yield genetic secrets. Okay. Next generation sequencing finds DNA preserved in hot climates. Okay. There you go. The ancient Egyptians could soon be getting their genome sequenced as a matter of routine. That's the view, at least, of the first researchers to use next generation techniques to analyze DNA from Egyptian mummies. Okay. In a preliminary study that the authors describe as a first step, they detected hints of one of the mummy's ancestral origins, as well as pathogens and a range of plant materials presumably used in the embalming process. Okay, the researchers led by Carson, the geneticist at the University of Tübingen in Germany, published their findings last week in Journal Applied Genetics. Okay, previous studies of DNA from Egyptian mummies have used a technique called polymerase chain reaction (PCR) to amplify segments of DNA. But these studies have been susceptible to contamination with modern DNA, especially when amplifying genes from humans or bacteria that are likely to be present in the environment. Okay, DNA degrades relatively quickly in warm conditions, leading to doubts that it would survive for long in the Egyptian desert. For example, a high-profile DNA analysis of a 3,300-year-old royal mummies published by Puig and his colleagues in 2010 attracted skepticism, but the authors stood by the results, arguing that the embalming process must have preserved the DNA despite the heat. So mummification preserves the DNA. So they can clone these mummies. All right. They can clone mummies. And here we are at CNN.com. CNN.com. I'm right there. All right. CNN. The pharaohs can be resurrected.
This is your homunculus. Right. I'm a segue it into it, but this is the theory. You know, other people can prove the homunculus, and other people can prove that in Africa they was playing with that. Now, even on the voodoo tip, right? That's why I said this is Damballa work, because Damballa, you can transfer souls into whatever, dolls, pigs, newborn babies. You can move it around. So see how you could do that in voodoo, but if you wanted to hide who actually had the power to do that, you put it on the aliens.
DNA is preserved in these mummies, and the Egyptians mummified animals. The Egyptians mummified animals by the millions, all right, because they was preserving the fucking DNA of these animals. Now these cockers always turn around saying that they was sacrificing animals and all this shit. No, the Egyptians were taking these specimens. A lot of these millions of animals probably were clones themselves. Okay, here you go. From correspondent Gail Young, Cairo, Egypt, CNN. For decades, the mummified remains of Ramses II have rested in the Cairo Museum and hauled out occasionally for their viewing pleasure of visiting dignitaries. Yeah, like his fellow pharaohs, Ramses wanted nothing more than to live for eternity. Now, some 3,000 years later, some observers speculate that maybe the ancient Egyptians, with their determination to preserve their bodies, were not so much prone to wishful thinking as they were to thinking ahead. Okay, reports that Scottish scientists have cloned an adult sheep named Dolly have led to rampant speculation that humans could be cloned as well. Man, they've been doing this shit since 1940s, man. And a lot of these motherfuckers that you see on TV are fucking clones. All right. Hey, let me give you an example of some clones here. Okay, this Al Roker motherfucker on Good Morning America. That's a fucking clone, man. Okay. Now I can't 100% prove it, but there's no doubt in my mind that they. Okay. Cypher, he and his research team recently discovered a lemur-like relative of Darwinius in Africa that they named Afra Dapis and analyzed its place in primate evolution. Now check this out. Check this out. Okay. Our study results indicate that Darwinius and its now extinct relatives, including Afra Dapis, are not in the evolutionary lineage leading to monkeys, apes, and humans, as has been debated, he said. Instead, they are more closely related to the living lemurs and lorises. Okay. Okay, this thing has fangs. Okay, so they either either these are the original lemurs, or they had these lemurs engineered, or what they did was they took another animal and engineered into this lemur and gave it fangs, like a cat or something. Okay, hold on. Okay, our study results indicated that Darwinius and its now extinct relatives, including Aphrodapis, are not in the evolutionary lineage leading to monkeys, apes. Okay, here they go. They report the findings in October 20 issue of the journal Nature. NSF supports the research through its social, behavior, and economic sciences director's physical anthropology program. Cypher's team, which includes Jonathan M.J. Perry of Midwestern University, Illinois, Elwin L. Simons of Duke University, North Carolina, and Doug M. Boyer, also of Stony Brook, based their findings on analysis of Afra Dapis fossils collected from an excavation site modestly called BQ2 near the Fayum Depression in northern Egypt. So they uncovered this northern Egypt, and y'all done showed you where they're mummifying animals. They're doing that for a reason, because they're preserving the fucking DNA of these animals. And here you go, you got to find a fucking prosimium with fucking fangs. Okay, hold on. Right here in northern Egypt. Okay, they first discovered a poorly preserved Aphrodapis fossil, a fragment that showed features of the front teeth and jawbone that were almost identical to those of old world monkeys. Okay, so when I say that monkeys were engineered from a fucking lemur, okay, this is not too far the fuck out, the fucking equation, considering the fact that you have a Bigfoot walking around that's both human and lemur. So they were definitely splicing the lemurs. Now, did they splice this lemur and produce monkeys? Because here you go. Soon they recover additional Aphrodapis. Okay, this is the Aphrodapis fossils that they uncovered in Egypt. Animal bodies and the pyramids and all that shit. Okay. And through dental analysis, eventually clarified that Aphrodapis and Darwinius weren't in the line of old world monkeys, apes, and humans, but had concurrently evolved similar features with their distant relative, a type of anthropoid. Okay, The similar features evolved through the process of convergent evolution. So they come up with these little convergent evolutions. This is called genetic manipulation and gene splicing. All right. Cypher explained, this means that under similar selection pressures, both lineages came to have similar specializations, but these features were not present in their last common ancestor. Noted shared specialization from dental examinations include fusion of the two halves of the jaw, reduction and loss of the first few premolar teeth, and the presence of front incisors that are each shaped like a spatula rather than being shaped more like a cone. Okay, interestingly, the ancestors of old world monkeys, apes, and humans developed these human features millions of years later. So we got a lemur with human features. And we know they was splicing the fucking lemurs. Okay, long after Aphrodapus and Darwinians were extinct, but reconstructing the most likely family tree of both living and extinct primates, taking into consideration virtually all anatomical difference evidence, the paleontologists determined that Darwinians and the relative Aphrodapus are not in the direct evolutionary line with humans. Okay, bullshit, because that Bigfoot is human. It's called gene splicing, motherfucker. All right. Okay, our discovery certainly contribute to a growing body of evidence that indicates that convergent evolution was a common phenomenon in early primate evolution, Cypher says. So here we go. They talking about some magical mutation. All right. There you go right there. Hold on. Okay, here we go. nsf.gov. There it is right there. Hope you can see that web address right there, because it doesn't give you really a title. Hold on, let me see. Here it is. Hold on. National Science Foundation. There it is right there. Where discoveries begin. Okay, Eric Cypher explains where ancient lemurs place on primate evolution tree. Okay, we're gonna go over this video because you know this lemur is one of the fucking key hominids. Hold on, let me get this shit.
And see, I don't know if he mentioned, but he also teaches that the lemur is why it's called Lemuria, because they knew about this, right? When they ransacked Alexandria. So when they came up with this new age religion, you know, they had to kind of hide the identity of the African, quote unquote. So they, you know, made up the lands that sunk that you can't, you know what I mean, ever like excavate and validate. So this is why you got Lemuria. Let's see.
Together here for y'all. There it is. Eric Cypher explains where ancient lemurs place on primate evolutionary tree.
I think that there are two very important points that we've made. One is that there has recently been the claim that a fossil called Darwinius from the Middle Eocene of Europe.
Okay, this motherfucker's over there in Egypt. There he is. He's over there in Kemet. Go ahead.
And commonly known in the media as Ida, might actually be an important link in the evolution of anthropoidea, that is the monkeys, apes, and humans, so that Darwinius might actually be on the line leading to the higher primates. And with the discovery of...
Okay, did you hear?
I got one more. See, this is why you got Dravidians, right? Because the Dravidians, even though they melanated, they not necessarily carbonated, right? That's why they got the straight hair like the Tamahu, because these are some of the early, by this narrative, these are some of the early, I guess, examples of this back genetic crossing, right?
Hear that? He said this lemur is in line with the higher primates. Okay. Now we know that they were splicing human DNA with these fucking lemurs, produced the Bigfoot, which produced your people from India. That's why they call, you know, these people were engineered on the continent of Lemuria. All right. Go ahead, man. Keep sticking the foot up in your ass, Mr. Cockasway. Let's go ahead.
This new Dataform primate from Egypt, which is actually a close relative of Darwinius, we have had the opportunity to go over all of the available evidence that we have from a number of living and extinct primate taxa.
Okay, they're saying this is the link between the lemurs and the monkeys. Okay, and see, this is why I'm saying that these monkeys might be, you know, hybrid humans. These little monkeys running around are probably human beings. Okay, this is why, I mean, this is not that far the fuck out. And, you know, here they are, got these lemurs over here in Egypt where they're preserving mummies and, you know, they're discussing the Tamahu. And they were obviously doing gene splicing and genetic engineering because all the gods were fucking hybrids, you know? You know what I'm saying? They got animal heads and human bodies like Anubis, got a dog head and human body, but go ahead.
We've been able to kind of reevaluate where these Adapiform primates fall into the primate family tree. And what we've found is the simplest explanation for all the available evidence is that Adapiforms are actually more closely related to lemurs and lorises than they are to the higher primates. The other important point that we make is that the discovery of this large Adapiform in Egypt at this time period in the late Eocene, about 37 million years ago, is pretty surprising because for the last many decades, we really haven't known much about the context of early anthropoid evolution in Africa.
Okay, notice they're over there in that fucking desert. Now, they're finding green glass in the desert, as I've detailed in other videos. They're finding green glass, which means there was some kind of fucking catastrophe or nuclear explosion or some shit that happened right there, which is why the Sahara, which used to be rainforest, is now all of a sudden a big ass desert. And they're finding green glass, which means that this was some kind of nuclear explosion that happened over there because they was wiping out them fucking hybrids. See what I'm saying? Them hybrids got out of hand, so they wiped them out. Okay, hold on.
We never actually would have expected, based on the evidence that was available previously, that living alongside these small and very primitive anthropoid primates that we have at this site would be this much larger and very highly specialized Adapiform primate called Aphoratopus. And in fact, this primate Aphoratopus shows some very specialized features of the teeth and of the jaw that are otherwise only seen in a lineage called the Catarrhine anthropoid, which is the group that we belong to, which is the old world monkeys and the apes. Aphoratopus is probably
okay. He showed in the Aphoratopus. Hold on, let's get that. Fangs. These lemurs have fangs. So fangs was engineered into the lemurs. Monkeys have fangs. Okay, so they took another animal and crossed it with this lemur, and then probably mixed in human DNA and produced the fucking monkey. All right, let's go. And from the monkeys, they produced the apes. Okay, here you go. Yeah, you're starting to see the origins of this whole genetic engineering breeding program. They started it with the prosimians. Okay, here we go.
Only seen in a lineage called the Catarrhine anthropoid, which is the group that we belong to, which is the old world monkeys and the apes. Aphoratopus is probably would have been between about 2,500 and 3,000 grams. So for primates of this time period in the Eocene, that's actually one of the largest primates known.
Hold on, give me 1 second here. Okay, I just want to check on something here. Okay, as you see right here, it says the majority of monkey species are omnivores, and while they do eat meat, so they eat meat. Okay, so this lemur being crossed with some kind of cat, some kind of wolf type animal. Okay, it's, you know, monkeys eat meat like a cat. Okay, they're meat eating animals, and they're omnivores. So, you know, and plus, if they're spliced with human DNA, that will probably also make them omnivore as well. So, you know, that's pretty consistent. And we're going to continue on. Okay, I'm over here looking at this lemur. Okay, lemur is an omnivorous animal, but its diet generally consists of a wide variety of fruits. They also eat vegetables, soft barks, nuts, saps, and flowers. When it's not fruit and food is scarce in its natural habitat, lemurs eat insects and even small animals. So they will eat meat, depending on if their survival's on the line. They'll go to the extent of eating.
All right, so you get the gist of that, right? Now, I wanna get back to Billy.
I'm going to start making examples out of people because I can. See, I have the financial. So he says I'm not a good financial person. I'm not a financial this and that. But guess what? I have the financial means. I have unlimited resources at my fingertips, and I will use them. And we are going to take care of business.
Yeah, that was definitely some Illuminati shit to say.
Take care of business. We are going to square up. My attorneys will square up. Lawsuits will be filed. Let's see how many more videos he's going to make.
Let's see how many more videos he's going to make.
Hey, Pocket Watchers. It looks like Billy cried to YouTube to get my videos removed. Let's go.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
$1,000 cryptocurrency online course, and it made absolutely no sense to me. When I asked them, why would you buy an $8,000 online crypto course? Basically, they said because it was endorsed by Mr. Billy Carson. And I was like, who is Billy?
I project myself outside of myself, and I talk to myself when I'm speaking. That's what I do.
So I decided to look up Mr. Billy Carson. And surprise, surprise, I found a man who had several interactions with the Broward County, Florida's court system, both in businesses and personal. So I made a video. And eventually, after my video got a bunch of views, my client got a refund. But Billy is still a little tight. Billy's upset and he wants my videos gone. I just got an official notice from YouTube that Billy Carson wants my videos removed, and he made an official request to take them down.
So Billy out here scamming. Wait, let's. Yeah, I typed it in the description, but I fucked that.
Down.
This is Pocket Watch.
All right, let's see if we can find. When he first caught Billy. When did he catch Billy? I think it was, definitely I don't think it was 3 years ago. Did y'all see Umar off his Freemason? Look at Umar with the Freemason hand sign. Hold on, where is old Billy? I think it's right here.
There's nothing more powerful than you making your thing happen. Really going for it.
Out of myself, and I talk to myself when I'm speaking. That's what I do.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, do you want to get financial tips from a self-proclaimed expert in space aliens? Let's go.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
And not to profile him, but it was extremely clear this guy is not a Harvard alumni. He did not graduate. I spent like maybe 2 minutes listening to this guy speak. And not to profile him, but it was extremely clear this guy is not a Harvard alumni. He did not graduate from Harvard. I've been doing this pocket watching thing for a while now, and it's easy to tell who has a traditional education and who gets their degree from Google University. So I decided to humor her and just do a quick Google search for William Carson, Harvard University. And to my surprise, I did find a William Carson who graduated from Harvard, extremely successful African-American who became the president and CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. The only problem is, it's not the same guy. So here is William Carson, MD, Harvard University graduate, extremely successful businessman. And here is William Tyrone Carlson, Carson with a K. He is a UFO expert and apparently a grifter. I was able to find this document from the state of Florida Attorney General. Back in 2015, they basically accused William Tyrone Carlson with a K of predatory behavior with his Vacation on Deck company, basically a travel agency that would sell pre-packaged vacations. Now, the issue was they would basically have these hard telemarketing upsells where they would overcharge their customers. When their customers would cancel the packages, they never received the refunds until the Attorney General stepped in. All right, so what is the lesson of today? Today's lesson is never take personal financial advice from self-proclaimed experts in space. Now, whenever you find someone who's constant, that is also a red flag. Now, if a person changes their name for some sort of religious reason or spiritual reason, I'm good with that. But William did not change his name from William Carlson with a K to William X or William Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He changed his name from William Carlson with a K to William Carson with a C. Big red flag. And for you kids who are keeping score at home, yes, this is not the first grifter that has been presented to the world by Earn Your Leisure. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you want more financial tips from a certified financial planner, subscribe to Pocket Watching with JT.
So I think
Need more?
So I think, Billy, when Billy got bagged up and, changed his name to Billy Carson, right? I think that's when he must have, at that point, he had to have been working with them peoples, right? He had to be working with them peoples. So let's see, not debunk, let's do expose. Oh, Billy exposed.
Unfortunately for him, he's facing a very big lawsuit from me. So he'll be getting served very, very soon because this information cannot be proven in the court of law as positively accurate. It's actually inaccurate, which gives me very good defamation. And also I get a chance to now sue his homeowner's insurance policy. And I'm going to start doing that to everybody that wants to play this kind of game. I got 4 Instagram accounts completely deleted, completely deactivated.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, do you want to know what it's like to have an expert in space aliens threaten to sue you? Let's go.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
All right, guys, so I recently did a video covering video, and let's see if they're false.
And then you take my face and put it on some shit that's in a bad light. I'm out here making money, man. Your top priority when something happens in business that doesn't go right is to go and replace that income. That's your top priority.
Point number 1. Billy Carson sells online cryptocurrency training courses. Well, you can tell right here with this website, Billy Carson does sell online cryptocurrency training courses. So I'm guessing that's not one of the points that Billy is upset with me about. Point number 2, his education. Now, in the letter, I can tell that Billy wasn't too happy with the way I characterized his education. As I said in the video, I can tell after listening to him just for a few minutes that he was not a Harvard graduate. And as you can see, based off his LinkedIn profile, he does claim that he was educated at Harvard and MIT. But if you look closer, you'll see what type of education he had. Certificates from both of them. As you can see, from Harvard, you can get a certificate in ancient civilizations in 6 weeks, and it is 100% free. And here you can see that you too can get a certificate from MIT in neuroscience in 6 weeks. Not very impressive. Point number 3, the name change. Now, I've had many Billy Carson fans come on my video in the comments and say, Pocket Watcher, you don't know what you're talking about. Billy Carson never changed his name. He was a victim of identity theft. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. These things are public record. So right here, you will see from Broward County, Florida, the actual case file of Billy Carlson, K-A-R-L-S-O-N, William Tyrone Carlson, changing his name to Billy Carson. It's right here. It's on the Broward County website. If it's wrong, then Billy, you have a beef with Broward County, not pocket watching with JT. And last, point number 4. And point number 4, to me, is the biggest point based on the letter I received from Billy Carson's legal team. Based on this cease and desist letter, Billy is not very happy that I said that he was apparently a grifter. And listen, Billy, I didn't do it to hurt your feelings. I only said it based on the definition of the word. So let's take a look at the definition of the word grifter. Grifter, a person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. Now, at this point, you have to ask the question, JT, why would you say that this man is apparently a grifter? Good question. Let's take a look at the Broward County court system. According to the Broward County Sheriff's Office, William Tyrone Carlson, also known as Billy Carson, was arrested for fraud charges. It says on December 18th, 2013, the defendant, William Carlson, was arrested for using a fictitious ID card in the name of Charles Rubin to fraudulently open a Chase checking account at Chase Bank. The officer states, I read defendant Miranda warning via card, which he waived, and admitted that the license was fictitious. Defendant advised that he purchased the license off the street in Miami. Defendant advised that he went on a website, netspin.com, where he was able to acquire the credit card. Defendant advised that his credit is bad and could not open an account under his real name. Further investigation revealed in 2013, the defendant opened at least 6 credit accounts using Tony Bellamy's real Social Security number without his authorization. In a sworn statement, Tony Bellamy advised that he does not know William Carlson and did not give him permission to open the credit accounts using his social security number. Tony Bellamy desires prosecution. For those of you who are asking, well, JT, what happened in the case? Apparently, William Carlson took a plea deal. So, Billy, you have to understand, based on the records at Broward County, it's understandable that I would say that apparently you're a grifter. All right, guys, what is the lesson of the day? Today's lesson is...
And see, I think that's when Billy became an agent. When Billy, look at those eyes. He dead behind the eyes. Look at those eyes of Billy Carson. I never trust a man with a mini afro. You maintain a mini afro? It's weird. It's giving Moesha father, right? It's giving police almost. I don't like the mini afro guys, right? Shave the sides or something. Make yourself look younger. I don't know. It look military. It throws me off. But look at those eyes, right? This man done seen aliens and went crazy. He ain't got no wrinkles in his forehead. He ain't got no stress lines. His skin nice and filtered. Right? It's like you don't look like a motherfucker that done had their mind blown and then most of the motherfuckers look frazzled, or I think that's why he cried on the little Andrew Schultz shit. You know what I mean? On the Packwood shit. I think that's why he cried. Because when you tell a motherfucker you done seen, you know, the most unbelievable shit you could kind of rationally tell somebody, a demon, an angel, a ghost, a monster, like you done seen some shit that's like not logical, you would have some type of physical, visual or social cues, or it'd be something to be like, yeah, that like I felt that shit. But when he just look at you with them cold dead eyes, them cold snake eyes, it's like you ain't blink, you ain't flinch, you ain't smiled, nothing. Skin ain't wrinkled or nothing. It kind of don't add up for me. You know what I mean? But man, we're gonna wrap this one up on old Billy tonight. Let's check one more time before we go. Let's check one more time if Sadie back outside. Let's see. Well, he just got, he was on Diddy. Everybody talking about Diddy. Mind you, that was 2016 when he tossed that girl. That was 2016. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'm out.